Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I am Frank, and unfortunately I didn't really want to have to make this video, but I do. Unfortunately, the Aston Martin is gone, and I'm going to tell you some of the reasons why and what's some of the cons to exotic car ownership that I've learned and should have thought about a little bit beforehand. Anyway, welcome to the channel, guys. I appreciate you guys for all subscribing and watching the videos and liking and everything that you guys continue to do. Let's aim for 1,000 subscribers, hopefully by the summertime. It's a big goal, but we're gonna keep it big here on the channel. So the newest addition is gonna be the 2019 Lincoln MKZ. It's the Reserve 2, so the only thing it's missing is cooled seats. Otherwise, it has every other option, and it's probably one of the best budget-friendly luxury cars you can get on the market, in my opinion, today. At just about $32,000 with 16,000 miles and a bumper-to-bumper warranty for the next 3 years, or up to 100,000 miles, I don't think you can really go wrong right now. So yeah, let me bring you guys upstairs, where it's hopefully a little bit less echo. I'm not sure if there's echo right now in the garage or not. And let me kind of explain to you guys what's been going on with the Aston Martin and some of the future plans for the channel. See you there. All right, guys, so we're upstairs now. We're actually in my guitar room. Maybe in the future, if you guys have any interest in guitars and stuff like that, I'll kind of go over the ones that I have. There's some of them right now in the background, along with just a little bit of cars and stuff like that. All right, so yeah, again, I didn't really want to have to make this video, but it is what it is. A lot's changed since I've made videos on the car. Between the market and the overall value of the car and just everything in general. So just to kind of get started on the reasons, the main reasons why, number one is just I didn't really drive the car as much as I wanted to. Granted, I did put 5,000 miles on the car in like a year and a half, and for a car that was purchased with 4,000 miles on it over the course of 6 years since it was manufactured and made, that's a pretty big dent. So yeah, the main reason is I just didn't drive it that much. The weather that we have up here in the Northeast doesn't really suit cars like that well all year round. I can maybe get 6 months out of the year driving the car and really enjoying it. It was on Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's, so they're summer tires, and I'm not about to push a car that I know is on summer tires when it's 0 degrees outside and I almost spin out and crash the car. Like, I don't feel like doing that. I'm not a person to kind of push a car like that. I know its limits and I know when to do something and when not to do something. So yeah, unfortunately I couldn't really maximize the car as much as I wanted to. And on top of that, going into like kind of the main other issue is that the car didn't have any issues, and it was a really, really nice example of an Aston Martin Vanquish, in my opinion, of course. So between the specs, the miles that it was that it was purchased with, I didn't really want to stack on miles that much and want to age the car and really deteriorate the car as much as I would have not minded it if it was another car that was purchased with a little bit higher miles or something like that. I know it's number one Aston Martin Vanquish. It's not really like a collector car or anything like that, but it was such a nice car and it was PPF and ceramic coated. It had everything done to it. It had the scrape guard on the front, so anything that was done to possibly protect it was done to the car. That we could have done to the car to protect it was done. But it was just too nice of a car, and I felt bad driving it in bad weather or driving it all the time or something like that. As if, it would be a different story if it was like a V8 Vantage that I gotten with 25,000 miles on it. Then I can have fun with the car, I can modify the car and stuff like that. I'm not, and I know I mentioned in another video I was thinking about it, but reality is that would have been the dumbest decision I'd ever made. And it was such a perfect car to begin with that it didn't need to be touched. But it was just too nice of an example that I felt guilty every time I would put another 100 miles on, another 100 miles on, another 100 miles on it. And, granted, it was taken care of when, I had taken ownership of it. The previous owner didn't keep up to date with the maintenance, but it was just still too nice. So just a couple of things that I probably should have thought of before getting the car was just how nice of an example it really was, and am I really gonna want to drive this car as much as I want to? So while I did, yes, drive it a lot, I didn't drive it as much as I really, really wanted to. So just a couple of reasons as to, that's why it made sense to kind of just unfortunately part ways with it.
On top of that, I did happen to get a really good offer, and the car was bought back for the same price that I had gotten it for, thanks to this lovely used car market we have right now. So I kind of took advantage of that one and was able to put 5,000 miles on the car and get it back for the same price I purchased it for. Granted, I was still out a little bit of money because the car was then PPF'd. Ceramic coating was done by myself. The actual maintenance of the car. So the car was serviced, which is another video, was serviced at Aston Martin of Long Island. And the only reason being was, again, it was such a nice prime example that when I wanted to resell the car, I didn't want it to be either serviced by myself here at the house or serviced at another kind of smaller dealership that's not actually certified to work on Aston Martin. So I had a feeling that would probably hurt the resale value. So having the maintenance records of the car done at the actual dealership definitely helped out. So again, not a video I really wanted to make, but it had to be done. I am gonna start to look in the market for something fun again, because I have the Colorado ZR2. I have an older Durango, which is like kind of another daily truck. And then the Lincoln now, MKZ. And that's essentially like a brand new car because of how low the miles are. So as far as finding another toy, I'm definitely looking for. The ZR2 right now is kind of like the off-road toy. It's the only thing that I can kind of have a little fun with as far as if I go to the beach or something like that. But in terms of modification, speed, handling, stuff like that, like really like kind of an adrenaline rush kind of car, I'm out. I don't have anything right now. I'm gonna start looking, and that's why I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about my next videos and stuff like that and take you on my new adventures. So what's planned next is going to be visiting some local dealerships to me that have some awesome cars. Nothing that I'm really crazy able to get right now, just based on the overall pricing of them, but stuff that I definitely think you guys would enjoy seeing on the channel. And if anyone's in the market for any of these cars, at least you'll know that they're there and kind of what they look like. I also have my license now to go to Copart finally and look at some of the salvage cars. I've been interested in doing a rebuild on something like an older car, maybe an old, Porsche, or just something that's been a little crash damage, nothing crazy, that I would just be able to have some fun with on rebuilding. I don't have a ton of experience working on like full rebuilds on cars. I know standard service and stuff like that, but getting really in depth, I'm not too familiar with on them. So I think it would be a really fun experience for everyone to watch me fail and then succeed and fail and succeed at different parts of working on a car that's been crash damaged. So yeah, those are just some of the ideas coming up. Next week I am planning, so this video is going to be out at the end of this week. So today is the 6th. So at the end of this week, I guess like the 12th or something like that, this video is probably going to be posted around then, the 11th or the 12th of February. Then I'm going to go to one of the dealerships that's local to me and show you guys what they really have in stock, which is again just some awesome cars. And I'll post that the following week. And then I'm aiming to get a video out every Saturday or Sunday, depending on when it's done. Again, I kind of feel that it's like the best option for right now as far as looking at cars and for the channel and to overall help it grow. I think it's stuff that you guys would definitely be interested in as far as an automotive channel is concerned. Yeah, so unfortunately, again, the Aston Martin is gone. I really did love that car. It is what it is. We'll get another one in the future. That car has already been sold, I know. I don't know to where it is, if it's still up here in the Northeast or if it's gone down south. I don't know where the next owner lives or where that car is, but it is definitely sold, I know. Yeah, and just for the first time buyer for an exotic car, just a couple of things is, like I had mentioned before, just look at the model or the spec of the car. If you think it's too nice of a car, and being that it was my first exotic car, I wanted to drive it all the time. So just be aware of what kind of a car you're getting and if it makes sense for you to buy that car, depending on how in good condition it is or not. Just be aware of that and how much you're gonna drive it and how much you're going to just destroy the value of the car. For some people, I understand like it doesn't matter, and I don't like a garage queen car. I like to enjoy my cars and drive them in all weather and stuff like that. In this case, I just couldn't get myself to do it, and I never thought I would actually do that. But once you actually have the car and you realize how nice it is, it just does something to you where it's a little bit different. So again, be aware of what you're getting first and see if there's maybe another example that's in good condition but has a little bit more miles on it with like a nice service history, on a complete service history, so it's something that you don't feel guilty about getting. Or just start on the lower end exotic car before you work your way up. So if you're able to eventually work your way up to having like one and then two cars, so you have one that's a little bit more of like a weekend exotic car, and then you have a daily driver kind of one, something that you don't care as much about, you know, maybe that's the best option for you. In my case, I had the option of just getting one. So with that, I kind of put all the eggs in one basket and got one towards the top of the price range, whereas I could have gotten something like a V8 Vantage or something much lower, or a DB9, so it was like a V12, but it's still that. Just be aware of that and see what other cars are on the market for a cheaper value and a better value and a little bit easier too on the maintenance costs. Again, I jumped into a car that had, you know, a 12-cylinder, it was a 6-liter, 12-cylinder car that had a very, very expensive service that was due every year and every 2 years. Obviously, if you're purchasing a car like that, you should be able to afford that, but it doesn't mean that you have to pay like that maximum price. So in my case, because of how nice the car was, I wanted to go to the dealership and get it done there. Whereas I know that obviously they're gonna charge me a lot more than if I A, did it myself, or B, went to another shop that wasn't certified by Aston Martin, but was still able to, you know, get the work done. So yeah, just be aware of those little things. I wanna keep today's video pretty short and just kind of, those are like the main things. Again, I will see you guys. I'm gonna post this video, like I said, at the end of the week. I appreciate all the support that I've been getting on my last 2 videos. Again, I'm trying to post once per week now. Let's aim for that goal of 1,000 subscribers by the beginning of the summer. That's a pretty big goal. I know, it's 700 subscribers in like a couple of months. I'm gonna try really hard. I'm working on my editing skills. I don't know too much about editing and computers and stuff like that, so I'm figuring this out along with all of you guys. Again, if you could see from the kind of difference in quality, I'm starting to get the hang of it and I'm starting to figure out how to do things a little bit better. So I appreciate everyone that's been sticking by and just kind of watching my videos as they slowly progress, because they haven't been great to begin with, but they're slowly getting better, a little bit. Yeah, so I appreciate that, guys. Stay tuned for the next few videos. They're gonna be pretty awesome with some pretty awesome cars coming in it. And again, stick with me through my editing. Let's hit that goal. Remember to hit the subscribe button. Remember to smack the thumbs up button. Comment down below if you like the video, if you don't, what you think I could do better on different things. I appreciate all kinds of criticism. Everything is constructive on this channel. So I appreciate you guys tuning in and sticking with me. And I'll see you guys next week with some pretty awesome content. Take care, guys.